across our viewing area. We'll have a look at how long these warming trends are going to last. Plus, a rise in COVID-19 cases here in North Carolina. Many people are spending their day quarantined. WBTV's Nikki Hauser spoke with some folks who had to change their Christmas plans at the last minute. And we're also following breaking news first at 6. One person is dead, 3 others hurt in an early Christmas morning shooting. Tonight, CMP says they're working to arrest people responsible. Good evening and Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us live at 6. I'm Liliana Pearson. While we didn't get a white Christmas here at home, skiers and snowboarders found their own white Christmas in the North Carolina mountains. This is a live look from the Appalachian ski mountains on this Christmas day. They still felt the warmer temperatures in the high country, but they were able to keep that snow on the ground. Back here at home, we saw an extremely unseasonably warm Christmas. Meteorologist Jason Meyer is joining me now. Jason, how long are we expecting these warm temperatures to last?
Oh, it looks like these temperatures are going to stay around for a while. Merry Christmas. Hope you've had a great day. Overall, a warm day to be outside. Some of the skiers may be having to take off some of the extra layers. Areas like Boone got into the lower 60s this afternoon. Beautiful weather looking out the window, but it was windy at times as well. If you hear from Rock Hill, you can see some of the holiday lights, Christmas lights on display right now. And yes, going to be a nice evening as winds should begin to diminish for most of the Piedmont, still staying windy in the mountains. Outside right now, we're at 58 in Boone. Most locations across the Piedmont, low to mid 60s right now. Yes, high temperatures made it back into the 70s, 71 degrees. The high temperature, we didn't break any records. The record high 77, but tomorrow a few degrees warmer and a little closer possibly to reaching record high temperatures. Wind gusts today topped out around 30 miles per hour for Charlotte. And we've had some high wind gusts more toward the mountains where wind advisories still continue. And so 1 a.m. tonight, as we widen out the view here, quiet in the Carolinas, warm air being moved in across the area as winds are staying out of the west to southwest. A cold front to our northwest that will begin to move in by early tomorrow. It could even set off a couple sprinkles for the high country, but we'll stay dry, mostly sunny as we continue into our daytime hours around the Piedmont. We'll talk more about your forecast and your New Year's Day forecast coming up.
Thank you, Jason. We're following breaking news first at 6. A Christmas morning shooting leaving 1 person dead, 3 others hurt here in Charlotte. CMPD were called to the scene on Beatties Ford Road just after 2 this morning. Medic says 1 person died at the scene. 2 other victims were taken to the hospital. Police say a 3rd person drove themselves to the hospital. All 3 people in the hospital are expected to be okay. WBTV is on your side tonight, working to learn who those victims are and if any arrests have been made. Also breaking now at 6, Lancaster police are investigating after they found somebody with a gunshot wound lying in a car. Officers were called to the scene around 7:30 this morning on East Dunlap Street. That's where they found the person with a gunshot wound. The person was pronounced dead at the scene. Lancaster police believe this is a homicide investigation. They have not yet released the name of the victim or if any arrests have been made in connection to the shooting. And new at 6 this Christmas Day, many had to change their plans last minute because of COVID-19. While some are stuck in quarantine, others are rushing out today for an emergency COVID-19 test. Our Nikki Hauser talked with people here in Charlotte about their holiday game plan with the rising cases. Nikki, what have they been telling you?
Hey, that's right. Merry Christmas, Liliana. And you're right, the COVID-19 pandemic really has been the daunting backdrop to this year's holiday festivities. That's why many have made it a point to go and get a COVID-19 test before the holiday, and others came during Christmas break. You can see the long line here at StarMed today, the only testing site open on Christmas Day. Now, others have come down with the virus, avoiding family and changing plans to quarantine. One of them, Garrett Haas's brother. He tells me he understands there's not much you can do when it comes to getting a positive COVID-19 test.
My other brother, he spent Christmas alone, so that, affected his plans and everything. So, yeah, it's definitely not optimal, but it is what it is. So.
Now, as of this week, the state says that they've added nearly 5,000 new COVID-19 cases. And coming up at 11 o'clock, I'll let you know how those cases are affecting even more plans this holiday for people right here in Charlotte. Live in Charlotte, I'm Nikki Hauser, WBTV, on your side.
Thank you, Nikki. It's also worth noting the North Carolina State Health Department reports a percent positive rate of 10.4% right now, which is about the same as the Mecklenburg County percent positive rate at 10%. It is the season of giving. Some Charlotte good doers spent the morning making sure hundreds of Christmas meals were delivered to those in need. Typically, the Charlotte Rescue Mission welcomes people to enjoy a meal with them, but the ongoing pandemic has the nonprofit adapting. This year, they packed up over 400 meals and sent them to shelters, filling bellies and giving a break to the busy shelter kitchen workers. Charlotte Rescue Mission says adapting their Christmas tradition is an easy choice if it means helping out and keeping more people safe.
Oftentimes, the residents come to the rescue mission on Christmas Day and celebrate the day with us. That's pre-COVID, but now under these days, we're doing it just a little bit differently so we can still bless them and take the pressure off their kitchens and let their residents have a really good Christmas day.
Some delicious fresh-baked desserts were also donated by community members, and those were also included in the meals. Some very deserving children right here in Charlotte were able to wake up to presents today from Santa, all thanks to the new Outreach Christian Center. We were there this morning as they passed out toys to kids in our community. The church teamed up with the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office to collect this year's donations. In all, they handed out at least 4 new toys to more than 600 children.
We have a lot of families that are displaced, that are living in hotels, and we saw those children today, and they were like, Santa Claus came to the church. So just to see their smile and to see that they was not getting anything for Christmas, and to make their day, to make their day, make their Christmas, it was well worth it.
The Outreach Center also packed up and delivered warm meals to senior citizens who may be homebound this Christmas. One Fort Mill family received a very special gift this Christmas weekend. Angela Cooper and her son Nico received a wheelchair van from the group All Things Possible Medical Fundraising. The 2014 Chrysler Town & Country van was given to Cooper so that she can easily transport her son in his wheelchair. Angela says she has applied to get the van, but she never expected that she would actually get selected.
My dream came true 2 years later, so don't ever give up on your dreams. Keep praying, and a blessing might happen like it did my son today.
What a wonderful Christmas gift. She says her first trip in this new ride is going to be to Grandma's house tonight for Christmas dinner. Merry Christmas to them, and of course, you know, independence and mobility, they are just so important. The Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey delivered a Christmas surprise to military families. His foundation partnered with the nonprofit Pay-Away the Layaway to pay the balance for military families in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. He met with some families via Zoom to deliver the news. In all, they paid off the account for just over 360 families, just showing a small token of appreciation for their service. McCaffrey was nominated this year for the NFL's Salute to Service Award because of his work with military families. And President Joe Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden are spending their day with members of the military. Early today, they met virtually with service members around the world. They thanked them for their service and wished them a Merry Christmas. The Bidens shared their experience having a loved one in the military during the holidays, saying they offer endless support and gratitude for their service.
So as your Commander-in-Chief, I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a poor substitute for what you're missing, but I understand. I just want you to know how much we care. We're grateful for your courage, your sacrifice, not only your sacrifice, but your family's sacrifice.
The Bidens have a personal connection to the military. Their late son and former Delaware attorney Beau Biden was deployed in 2008. He died of brain cancer in 2015. And now across the pond, where Queen Elizabeth is spending her first Christmas as a widow. She delivered a Christmas Day message speaking about the loss of her husband, Prince Philip. The 95-year-old monarch says this time of year brings happiness for so many, but it can also be really hard for those who have lost loved ones over the past year. She says she knew Prince Philip would want his family to enjoy Christmas. During the message, she wore the same sapphire brooch that she wore on her honeymoon in 1947.
That mischievous, inquiring twinkle was as bright at the end as when I first set eyes on him. But life, of course, consists of final partings as well as first meetings. And as much as I and my family miss him, I know he would want us to enjoy Christmas.
Elizabeth is spending Christmas at Windsor Castle in London due to the COVID-19 pandemic. New at 6, an armed intruder was arrested at Windsor Castle on this Christmas morning. Police say they arrested a 19-year-old suspect with what they're calling an offensive weapon. Police were tipped off when the security alarms went off. The suspect was able to make it on the grounds, but they were not able to get into the castle. Members of the royal family were notified of the incident. Coming up at 6, are you flying for the holidays? You might want to check your flight status. I'm giving you an update on the delays and cancellations that could impact you through the new year. Plus, NASA has launched a massive piece of equipment into space, what we're hoping to learn and see with the new James Webb Telescope. Plus, Jason.
And average high temperatures for this time of the year, 53 degrees. That's about where we're going to start tomorrow morning. We'll see temperatures about 20 degrees above average as we're back in the 70s tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about how long it lasts coming up next.